Fort Huachuca in 2022, we are now fully implementing the Army Barracks Management Program across the installation, not only in permanent party barracks, but in the training barracks as well. We've received great support from Command Sergeant Major Everett and Command Sergeant Major Cooling in implementing the program.
The purpose of the program is to bring together the military and garrison leadership as a team to place some emphasis on the quality of life housing for our single and unaccompanied soldiers. It's going to improve the quality of life of soldiers in three ways. One, it's going to allow us to maintain accountability and see ourselves in terms of space and furnishings in the barracks. It's going to allow us to identify deficiencies and decrease the response time to improve those deficiencies. And then three, it's going to foster engaged leadership in tracking those deficiencies and improving the overall quality of life of our soldiers.
So I never thought I'd be a garrison sergeant major, but I knew if I ever was that the barracks would be very near and dear to my heart. I'm excited that the Army has migrated. It reminds me a lot of the program when I joined the Army, where leaders and soldiers take responsibility for the barracks, for upkeep, fixing them up, making them better, improving their foxhole. And the Army has digitalized a lot of these processes that allows a much smoother transition of that stuff for the occupants, right? ARMA is the new Army app. It allows soldiers to send work orders to DPW in real time. It allows them to attach photos of what's wrong, and that helps the timeline of those things getting fixed. It makes it much more expedient.
One of the key events in implementing the Army Barracks Management Program is the stakeholders meeting. And on January 20th of this year, Command Sergeant Major Everett hosted the first quarterly stakeholders meeting under her tenure. We had 61 stakeholders show up to that meeting, attend that meeting, and received great feedback from the units on what their challenges are, what their successes are, what their best practices are. They could share across, the Fort Huachuca enterprise.
So on Fort Huachuca, what I want to see is the full implementation of the Army Barracks Management Program. I want to see leaders develop processes that will outlive command teams, so this just becomes a seamless transition as leaders rotate in and out of Fort Huachuca.
One of the benefits of the stakeholders meeting, especially when you have an attendance that ranges from the USACO Command Sergeant Major all the way down to your company supply NCOs, is all of the issues that are raised are immediately heard by every echelon of the chain of command, and then they're discussed by every echelon of the chain of command. So we can establish a rapid resolution, ways forward. We can hear the challenges. The other stakeholders from the garrison are there to help address those challenges. Overall, it's a great event, only if it works. And in this case, it definitely worked.
I've seen soldiers turn their rooms into works of art. So I encourage soldiers to take ownership of the room, make it special to them. My goal is to create safe and livable barracks rooms throughout all Fort Huachuca so that all soldiers have that at all times, and we get after that with upkeep from leadership and of the soldiers themselves.
There's two things I want to add. First, I want to add that soldiers have responsibilities in the Army Barracks Management Program as well. So they have to take pride in their areas. They have to own it. They have to follow the established procedures. They have to identify deficiencies. They should demand quality living conditions, but we also want them to be part of the solution. And then the second thing I'd like to add is I'd like to give two shout outs. One to Mr. Ethan Bradley, the Chief of the Housing Division for DPW. He was instrumental in bringing this to light that we haven't fully implemented the Army Barracks Management Program here on Fort Huachuca, and two, he brought all the stakeholders together for our first ever stakeholder meeting for Army Barracks Management Program. And then the second thing the second shout out would be Sergeant Major Cooling, the Garrison Sergeant Major. He hit the ground running, and he's been just a great partner on the installation and getting things moving along and happening to improve the quality of life of our soldiers.